Hi Beverly, I thought I'd show you some of the challenges we've had on the engine and prop shaft and all that good stuff. First thing, I just show you the big drill that we actually use to drill the prop shaft, or drill the hole for the prop shaft, and then we use this extension rod right here to put our drill bit in the end of to actually drill the hole at a 15-degree angle. But the placement of the prop shaft is really set by, first thing is the rudder, and here's the rudder port. We had to pull the rudder out, of course, to get the prop shaft in and out, but here's the rudder port, and so that's in the same relative position in this boat as it was, well, this boat, this is your boat, it's in the same relative position as it was before, the same distance from the transom of the boat. So that's the first thing, and then you have a distance. Of course, your prop can't hit the rudder, so it can't be too far out, and it can't be. Can't roll around here very well. And your prop, so it can't be too far this direction next to the rudder, which, like I said, is missing from the port right now. And you need about a quarter inch to half inch of space between the prop and the strut, so that locates the strut. And then, the angle of the strut is the angle of the strut, which, as you can see upside down here, 14.9 degrees. And then what we do is we have this piece of shafting right here with a bore sighter inside it, a laser bore sighter inside it. So we put that, with the prop shaft out, we put the bore sighter in the strut, and then we see where our hole should hit the bottom, and then we go inside on the engine and we do the same thing with a bore sighter on the engine, and we put this in the hub, and then we know where we're going to hit, where our hole's going to hit on the inside of the boat, where it should be coming out. So with that, we knew we were going to have an issue getting the angle of the engine to match that 15.9 degrees on the strut. And the struts come in all different sizes and configurations, but basically it was, as hard as it was, it's easiest to reuse the existing stuff. We did have to buy a new shaft log. That's this casting right here, because your old one had been worn out by the shaft. It was so badly misaligned that the shaft had worn into the housing on here. I think you've seen some pictures of that. And so, of course, now what we've done, we've drilled, we've installed the shaft log for the shaft to come through. We've installed then the packing gland, which will leak one drop every 20 seconds. That's lubrication for the shaft. And we've installed the hub, and we lowered the engine. One of the problems that we did have, that we had to address, oops, I just lost my batteries out of my bore sighter, but at any rate, was the fact that you have a steering rod down here. And the engine mount right here had been sitting on top of the steering rod before, and you can even see where the metal had been kind of shaved off the steering rod with it rubbing. So what I did is steering rod 7/8 of an inch in diameter on the outside, so I put a 7/8 thick white oak spacer in, and I've attached the motor to the white oak spacer, and then bolted and glued with 5200 the white oak spacer to what's called the engine stringer, which runs pretty much the full length of the boat, supports the engine and ties the engine into the boat. So that way we were able to actually get it to where the steering rod is now free and not going to be encumbered by the motor sitting on top of it. Now what I had to do then was, as you can see, the motor mounts are offset. This one's very close spacing, and this one's a very far spacing on this side. I also had to move the motor forward about an inch. Here's one of the original holes for this bolt. Here's an original hole for this bolt. So I had to move the engine forward, and it actually matches up now. So The next challenge is going to be, hopefully not anything major, it's going to move I may have to move the engine box forward by 1 inch as well. So I've got a lot of cleanup to do in here, vacuuming out the sawdust and so forth, and then I can take care of that. But I also had to lower the front of the engine, and I actually had to take the adjustment wedges out. All the adjustment's going to be on the back of the boat now, and really there's hardly any adjustment left. But I also had to cut the engine stringer, so basically I had to do work that, when that was repowered before, this should have been done before, because like I said, we've put everything right back where it was. So anyhow, that's been the challenge. And matter of fact, the strut is right back where it was, and that was how we ensured that we would have the right spacing between the prop and the strut. So all those measurements are the same. So we know we put it back like it was, and we knew it wasn't right when we took it out. We had I'll show you in your shaft log. Well, I think we just refer you back to the pictures of your shaft log where your shaft log was worn out because the shaft was being pulled up into the log, and so the stainless steel won over the bronze. So anyway, that's what I've been doing off and on for 2 days, mainly on for 2 days, but on all day today with no interruptions today. I just didn't allow anybody to interrupt me today because we are getting down to the wire. So we have a oil pressure line, gauge line to run up here to the gauges, and we think we have found the new tag. It's on the way, but we're not actually sure. We may just put that tag turned around with just a blank in the front of it, so that the blank side showing, and then you'll know that the blank side is your courtesy lights. There doesn't seem to be a tag made that says courtesy, so or at least we haven't found one yet, and because they didn't have courtesy lights back then. So here's the rest of your chrome all laid out. I'm going to put this bore sider down here too. But at any rate, and these are all the pieces. These are stainless, and these are all the pieces that were the little stripes in your dashboard. And so we buffed those, and we have a picture that we'll post that has the shows what they looked like before all that work. We have step pads that go near the back of the boat, and we had a question about the step pads, so it will still need to get answered. Here are the windshield frames, and your bow light is off just because we had to get a new light socket and install in that. The old light socket was the wiring was just toast. And these are your bumper cleats and lifting rings, and this magical center bracket here that took so much effort. We had to get the frames brought back here and then actually fit this center bracket to the frames and then send that all back off for plating. So, courtesy lights are here. So, let's see, I think that's about it. Other chrome that we just got back is your throttle and your shifter and the chrome ring that goes on your stern flagpole. And I don't think we just got these back. I can't remember if I guess we'd forgotten to send the chrome rings in the exhaust rings. So these go around your exhaust pipes, and will really set the transom off. So, like you so. Yeah. So anyway, that's the long and the short of it. We will definitely be going to the lake tomorrow, come hell or high water, or even rain. We did get rained out one day last week, but turned out we still had work to do on the engine mount, getting it right. So we have to spin the tank, this gas tank, about 90 degrees, and put the new sender in, since the old sender turned out to be toast. So And we've got our exhaust hoses to put on those 2 copper exhaust lines you see in the dead center in your picture. And they come up to this elbow right here. So I've got those to put in as well. So that won't take long, and we'll be headed for the lake. That's the story. Talk to you soon.